it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. Tonight we have a very special episode for you. It is a free online card class using the Gathering Together designer paper from the September 2025 Stampin' Up! Online exclusives. I'm so excited to be stamping with you. Many of you already have your kits. If you ordered from me last month, you should have gotten it in the mail. If you're a team member and you subscribe to get my kits, then you have had the opportunity and should have also received your kit. I also have extra kits and they are available for sale. I thought I had my little sheet. They are available for sale at juliedavison.com/kits. And you'll find all of my past kits from 2025. There's a few left from 2024. And I added a brand new thing at the top of that page, a back pocket card layout starter pack, which I'm really excited about. Getting rid of kind of my old stash of back pocket cards. And I was trying to find, I had a little paper that said it, so I'm just going to write it. If you would like to check it out, it is my name, juliedavison.com/kits. Just like that. So if you want to get this kit, you can get all the pre-cut pieces that we're using today. You can watch the replay and create at home. Hopefully, if you already have your kit, you are stamping with us tonight. I'm so excited to be making cards. Let me show you what we're making today. We are using Gathering Together designer paper. Let me show you the paper and then I'll show you what we're making and then we'll get started. This designer paper, part of the September online exclusives. The product flyer is available to download in the video description. I like to kind of print it out and include it with my catalog. This 12 by 12 paper has gorgeous colors, all my favorite fall colors. Old olive, Cajun craze, crushed curry, some early espresso, and gold foil on every sheet. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love all of it. There's also a lot of basic beige in here too, which I think is kind of a great neutral color to use instead of or in addition to white. Like there's some white here, but gosh, look at that with the basic beige background. This one is so beautiful. I know. I love this paper too, Donna. It is so gorgeous. All the sides, and I was excited to design some cards with it. The Gathering Together suite includes also the Gathering Moments stamp set. And this is a rubber stamp set, cling rubber. And there are images of leaves, acorn, mushroom, and then some sentiments like many thanks. Your friendship means the world to me. Thankful for you, expressing heartfelt gratitude, and gather. And today I'm going to be using this stamp set for most of my cards, but I know that many of you may not have this stamp set, and I think that this designer paper is going to work with any leaf set, any greeting set. So even if you don't have the same stamp set, find something similar that'll work from your stash. And do your best to stamp along with us. A lot of times I pick out paper where you can cut images out of the designer paper, and these cards don't necessarily have that element to them, so you're definitely going to want to bring in some kind of leaf set. And I have a hint for you: if you don't have a set that's specifically fall leaves, reach for a flower set, because usually there's a leaf or some kind of thing in there. You could also use flowers on a lot of these cards instead and just maybe do them in the same fall colors. So the Gathering Moments stamp set does have coordinating dies, these giant leaf dies, which are so amazing. I just got a card from my swap. Let me pull it out. I think I did using the big leaf. Oh, here it is. This is the paper. Okay, here's the one I was thinking of. It is from Robin Satterwhite, and she used that big leaf die with the two-tone cardstock and then crumpled it up and did some sanding on it, and I just love the look of that. A little combination here with the stamped leaves and the acorn. Such an awesome card, Robin. Thank you. I've got lots of card swaps from team members, and I think I'm going to be sharing all of those extra cards next week so that we can focus on our cards tonight for the card class. I also have some extra samples I'll be sharing throughout the night using the Gathering Together. But these big leaves are so perfect for creating like a banner or a garland. And I did print out the picture from Stampin' Up that has some extra samples and kind of shows that the holes are meant to be stitched, and I have to say I didn't quite figure that part out. Mine didn't look so pretty, but I gotta play some more with it. I just thought it was so pretty though to just die cut some leaves from designer paper with the embossing folder, and then such cute cards here with all the different elements. This image I got from the online store and just saved it and printed it, so it's not actually something that's available like in print, but I do that a lot with the online store photos. I go there and I look for inspiration in the online store, and then I can be inspired to create similar cards or even just copying the same cards. Here is one of the favorite ones. I didn't make this one yet, but I just love that layout. I think it's so cute, and I like how they combine some of the leaves to create a wreath. I think that's really pretty. Sharon says this paper warrants hoarding status, perhaps, but I do encourage you to cut it up and use it because you can make some really gorgeous cards with it. All right, so Gathering Moments is the stamps that I'm using. I'm also bringing in some of these Cajun Craze and gold dots. Now the kits don't include embellishments because the host code got discontinued, and that's how I was funding the embellishments that I included in the kits that I sent to everyone in the order. But I'm going to show you different kinds of embellishments. So grab from your stash. I also have here the earth tone shimmer gems and the neutral matte dots. I think this one is probably on the last chance list, or maybe even gone already, but there are some really great embellishments on the last chance list. So if you're looking for a deal on bling for your cards, make sure to check that out. In fact, the last chance list was just updated at the beginning of October. Some new items were added and new discounts. So it's such a great place to find bling for your cards. So you'll bling whatever you have at home on your cards. Oh, I'm seeing the comment there about faux stitching. That is such a great idea with those dies. If you don't want to use the twine, you can just use a marker and kind of just draw lines in between to have that faux stitched look. So I think that's really clever. So I'll have to try that with the big dies. I'm not using the big dies tonight to make our cards. In fact, let me show you the cards that we are going to make. And then if you don't want to watch, you can tune out and go do something else. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Because I have more cards I'll be sharing throughout the throughout the video. But these are the ones that we're going to make together tonight. This one is so fun. I love this layout, and I'm realizing my bonus sample is in the kitchen. I'll have to go grab it because the bonus sample actually was the one I made first, and it made me love this cute little layout. This embossing folder is called Gathering Leaves, I think, and it is part of the suite. It has the cute little leaf shape over and over. So cute. So this is Cajun Craze for the card base. We have some stamping and die cutting to do, and on the inside, expressing heartfelt gratitude. And this one is our back pocket card layout, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Here's the second card design using lots of designer paper to create this look. And I'm also bringing in the sign design stamp set, and we made a bunch of cards with that a week or two ago. So if you haven't seen that one, you should check it out because it has 4 different occasions that are represented. The season of things, and then there's a Happy New Year, a Merry and Bright, and a Halloween stamp as well on the inside there. And our last card is our fun fold, and we have a double flap going on here. So it flaps over, designer paper on both sides, and then another flap down, thankful for you. We're going to end with this one. We'll do this one in the middle, and we'll start with this one. But let me grab really quick the other sample that goes with this layout because I really, really want to share it with you. Okay, here is the other sample. It is using the Traditions of Christmas suite with that gorgeous designer paper, which also has gold foil, and a little cut image from the designer paper and their traditional wreath embossing folder in the background. I love the white on white. Now, if you have the kit, you also have the back pocket card layout, and that card is pictured on the back side. So if you want to remember what that looks like, you'll find it right there. The back pocket card layouts are so fun. There is a new one in every single kit. It has a black and white sketch of the layout and then measurements that are suggested. You can always change them up. And then on the back side, the 2 color samples to inspire you. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know all about the back pocket card layouts. We've been doing these for a couple years, and this is my ring of all of them. There's a new one every month in the card kits, and all of my team members get them automatically, whether they subscribe to the kits or not. They always get the cards in the mail, and I just mailed some out this past week. And so if you're a team member, you probably got an envelope. Some of you got just the ones from the quarter, and all of you should have received, if you didn't get the gift box for the retreat this weekend, it's coming with the cards for the retreat as well. So it's like a double package of back pocket card layouts, 6 cards total going out to team members. I love being able to do that. Actually, this is one of the cards from the retreat. So if you're not familiar with the back pocket card layouts, I do have a starter package for you. And I just put these together with some extra cards. This is including the 5 cards from May that I did as a special edition thing. So if you already have this green pouch, Creativity is Intelligence, Having Fun, then you already have 5 of the cards that are coming in this starter pack. The other 15 cards are a random assortment of cards from 2023 and 2024. So some of them from the monthly card kit, some of them are special edition cards. So 20 cards total in the starter pack, plus a binder ring and this project pouch that says Creativity is Intelligence, Having Fun. I have a very limited number of the starter packs available, and so if you would like to get a starter pack with the back pocket card layouts to get your collection started, go to juliedavison.com/kits. It's right there at the top of the page, and you can get your package. I honestly don't remember the price tag I put on it, so you'll have to go check it out if you are interested. Right now it is for US, well, the button is set up for US shipping. If you are international and you are interested, I can figure out how much postage would be, because it's going to be more than what it would cost me to send to the United States. But since there's no Stampin' Up! Product, I can send that technically to international stampers. Okay. I know I am going to need a bigger ring. I think I'm like at max capacity here. So actually the rings that I've included in here, they're actually bigger. So, I'm going to steal this one and I'll replace it in that envelope. I've been meaning to do this anyway. So, well, I'll just do this really quick. I use my Crop-A-Dile to make my holes, but if you just have a hole punch, regular hole punch, you can just punch a couple at a time. Start with one as your template, and then you can use it to punch all of them. So I love these for when my mojo is feeling kind of low and I want to do, make a card, but I don't know where to start. This is such a great starting point. You don't have to think about it. You can just pick out the pieces, cut your paper to that size, and roll with it. So let's roll with it. Let's get started and make a card. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not going to say the thing I just realized. The card thing that comes with your package has pictures of the cards and also the measurements that you need to cut your designer paper. There's also a link to a PDF with written instructions. PDFs are available in my Etsy shop, so if you are interested in just getting a PDF to have all the instructions and measurements to make the card, you can check that out there. For our first card, we're going to use the Cajun Craze card packet. And it has all the pieces that you need, cardstock pieces ready to go, including any embossing or die cutting. All my kits are ready to go like that. And then we're just going to add the designer paper. So for this first card, we are going to be using this design here. This has the Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, and Basic Beige leaves with a white background. There is a similar pattern that has crushed curry leaves and a basic beige background. So we want the one with the basic beige leaves, not the crushed curry leaves. We're going to use this for the last card, and we're going to use the other one with all the leaves for our second card. So this is the one we want. And we also need a little strip of this one. We're going to use the back side, the early espresso. And before we cut from this, I need to think. I need to think about how I want to cut these stripes. Oh, okay. I need to mention something for the second card. Okay, hang on a second. If you have the kit at home, there is a typo on the paper. I'm so sorry. Right here, this second measurement, third measurement, under the second card, it should be 1.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. So that was oopsie. And what I was trying to figure out is, I don't know what happened when I designed the cards, because I need to have this, I need to have the stripes 3 3/4. That's just not going to work out. 3 3/4. If I do 1.5 like this, I won't have a long enough piece. I can't cut it from there. Okay. We're going to figure it out. We are going to take this piece and we are going to cut with the short side at the top. This is for the first card. We're cutting at 3/4 inch. And then we're going to turn it and cut it at 4.5. And so when we cut this later, it's going to look a little bit different on the card than the sample, but it'll be okay. So this one is 3/4 by 4.5. And then for our other piece, we're going to cut this at 2 inches by 3.5. 2 inches by 3.5 and 3/4 by 4.5. I'm going to set that aside for another card. The card kit includes a piece of white cardstock that is meant for stamping. So we're going to do some stamping with the large leaf in Cajun Craze and the acorn in Early Espresso. And I'm also going to use the many thanks for the front and expressing heartfelt gratitude for inside. I feel like there's so many things I want to talk to you guys about tonight. I'm like, my head is just like, where do I start? Don't forget this. Don't forget that. I'm really excited about the retreat this weekend that we're doing on Saturday. I've been helping some of our presenters get their videos ready, and so it's really exciting to see what they're sharing, and I can't wait for you to see that too. Now, the retreat is a private event. Most of the videos and classes that I do are on my regular YouTube channel, but this event is a private event, and if you want to see the demonstrations and the class, then you'll want to join you'll have to join the virtual event at this point because the gift boxes are all sold out. I had some extras and I sold them and sent them today, and I'm really, really excited to stamp with so many of you this weekend. Okay, so I was talking while stamping. I made a big leaf and an acorn. What I really should have done while I had them out, and we'll go back and do this. Let's add the same images on the inside. This card is landscape, so I'm going to stamp my 4 by 5 1/4 white cardstock. Down here in the corner, the leaf. And with Early Espresso, we're going to do the acorn. I don't know how I feel about that overlapped, but it's done. I guess I can always turn it over, right? I'll turn it over. Expressing heartfelt gratitude. I think I just want the acorn next to it. I don't know, does that look silly? This just looks funny because it's transparent, but I stamped my original, I did overlap, but it wasn't as much. I don't know. Do you like it better overlapped or next to each other? I don't know. You can do yours however you want at home. I could like potentially add another, oh, a halo. My rubber was extra wide and caught the ink pad with extra ink and created a mark next to my stamped image. We call that a halo because it kind of comes around the edge of the stamp. I'm using a sand eraser to try to get rid of that stray ink mark. And the way a sand eraser works is it actually just like sands down the fibers of the paper. And so it's not really erasing the ink so much as just like scrubbing the top of the paper layer until it disappears. It worked a little bit, but then I smudged right here. So I think I just made it worse. Oh my goodness. Well, there are two sides, aren't there? We could go back to that side. I think it's okay. A little extra ink is like just a little extra love. I'm gonna get out my dies to die cut these images. I think the thing that cracks me up about this set is just the proportions are so off to have like the teeny tiny leaf and then the big leaf. I keep saying that I don't know about the proportions, but then I see Robin's card. I'm like, it works okay. So I don't know. I just need to bite the bullet and use one of those big ones on a card. I saw a project online and they used the big die cut as like a mask and did some blending around it. And I thought that was really clever, a really fun way to make the backgrounds. Oh, Donna, tell Mom we said hi. I hope that she's doing well. Okay, you guys like it overlapped. Bhavana says next to each other. I think I like it overlapped too, but I don't like the overlap that I did the first time. Let's get Lucy out. She's my mini Stampin' Cut boss machine, and she's the boss, the mini boss, the mini me boss. I like little dies because they fit well on Lucy, and I can bring the machine up to my desk and die cut with it really quick without having to leave my workstation. I mean, I'm not really like when I use my big machine, it's usually just on the floor because there's no space on my desk and I just lean over. But leaning over and embossing on the floor, I know doesn't work for everybody. All right, there's our images. And I feel like we got a mess. I don't want to lose these. We're going to use them again. I'm just going to set them right up there and I'll get them back. So we've got our pieces. Oh, I was going to show you the PDF. Hang on. I printed the PDF so that I could use it as a guide and share with you the measurements, but I wanted to show you what it looks like. The PDF has all the measurements for the projects, plus written instructions that will tell you how to put the card together, and a supply list at the end. So this is what it looks like, and you can print it yourself from the Etsy shop. So it's really awesome and convenient because it's available for immediate download. Now, if you want to grab a pen and paper, I'll give you the measurements that we're using and you can write them down and take a screenshot, I guess, if you want to, of the project. But our card base is 5.5 by 8.5. And then our second piece here, the embossed cardstock, is 3 3/4 by 5, this piece. And then we have the designer paper, which we talked about earlier. The basic beige cardstock for our sentiment is 1 by 2.5. I forgot to stamp that. And then the inside piece is 4 by 5 1/4. Let's do our stamping. Many thanks. Perfect. Sharon says she uses her chair as an extension to the work surface. Absolutely. I have, for Christmas last year, Thomas and Elise gave me a cart to sit next to my desk, and that has 3 different layers. And so the top layer is where I keep my my card bases, and then I have like some flyers and stuff. I was keeping die cutting things in the bottom. I guess I still have them down there, but I always end up taking them out, and so they don't end up back into the bottom of the cart. But I like it because it's handy and it's right there, and the cart kind of brings it up to be desk level. So it is sort of like an extension of my desk. All right, for our card layers today, I'm going to use just some regular Stampin' Seal adhesive to add the designer paper layers to the card. And so we're going to start with that long strip. This is going to go down towards the bottom. And then our designer paper is going to go overlapping that. I'm leaving extra space on this side, so it's not quite centered. It's to the left of center. And this will give us space to add our other elements, which are the large leaf and the acorn, which is going to go on with Stampin' Dimensionals. We're going to use I think sometimes I use a glue dot, sometimes I use tear and tape. I'm going to use a glue dot, I think, to stick this one down. Our twine bow, our linen thread, and just going to write like this, and then the many thanks is going to go over it with dimensionals. What? I feel like, oh, I feel like it's stuck to something. It's stuck to me. Stampin' Dimensionals on the sentiments. Many thanks. And then the acorn's going to kind of come, well, I think I just kind of stuck it next to, well, sort of next to and overlapping. Now this whole layer is going to go on with dimensionals. And I was just saying this the other day. I like when I'm using the same color as the card base, when the front layer is the same color, I like to add it with Stampin' Dimensionals just so that it sticks out a little bit more and feels a little bit more finished, because it's almost like adding like a shadow layer, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to pop that up with dimensionals, and then we're going to trim. You've never had a tour of my craft room because I've never done a tour of my craft room. I think one time, like informally, I did a little mini tour on one of our team Zooms before. It's actually not that big of a craft room, and it is a very big mess of a craft room, I guess, because it's not that big. I mean, it's a decent size. I'm not saying it's tiny, but I just have a lot of things happening. So before I do any kind of tour, I would have to clean up. I'd have to clean up a lot. See, Sherry saw that tour. A perk of being on my team, you get a behind the scenes look at things. All right, here's our finished card. Many thanks. Of course, we want to add some bling though, so let's unbury from our pile of stuff. Unbury from the side here. Now, I think on my sample I did use the Cajun Craze, and I sort of think those colors are just perfect for this card. You know what? I'm actually going to try these though. This is from the Earth Tone Shimmer Gems, which I think are retired, but they have kind of like a basic beige vanilla sort of color. And actually it looks like maybe both. Like this one looks more vanilla and this one looks a little basic beige, kind of crumb cake. So let's use some of those use whatever you have at home to dress up your card. This, oh, I don't know, that's really subtle. Maybe I do want something with a little bit more color. I'm going to use these other ones. They're not quite the basic beige or the Cajun Craze color, but they do have a little more color than, I don't know. I'm gonna do it right there on the acorn. I think it's cute. The wizard behind the curtain. And Tony has actually been to my craft room. Yes, and it was clean that day. I definitely cleaned it for you, Tony. I didn't want you to see how it really is. All right, I'll try to do a video soon and show you all the things. But I just don't know why you'd want to see it because it is such a mess. But you can see how I store all my things. I guess that's the reason, right? That you want to see a craft room, because it gives you ideas of how to store your own things. You can and should stamp your envelope to match. I will do some overlapping here with the leaf and the acorn. And you can stamp yours however you like. But I always think it's fun to have like a little peek of what that's going to look like on the inside. And then your back pocket card layout to add to your pouch. Now, if you're a team member who gets the project kits in the mail, I don't send back pocket card layouts again. So if you're looking for the back pocket card layouts, you have to open the kits and pull them from there. I know I know someone in particular who has a whole stash of my kits in her desk drawer. And she needs to do a little catch up on that, but that's where you're going to find them, the back pocket card layouts. And if you're a team member who doesn't subscribe to the kits, then they come in the package every quarter, all three together. Sherry. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, I was thinking about, since we're talking about being a team member, this one. This amazing special ends tomorrow. Lori is asking about the retreat. So Lori, as a team member, you have free access to the retreat. I don't have any more gift boxes, but you'll have access to the PDF. You have the back pocket card layouts that are coming to you in the mail, and you have free access to the virtual event and the Facebook group as a team member. So you can use things that you have at home, maybe substitute other designer paper if you don't have the same one. Unfortunately, I don't have any more gift boxes. Now, if you are if you're not a team member and don't have free access, then you can still have virtual access for $25 to the virtual retreat. That's going to be for the Facebook group. On Saturday, we're having 2 live stream sessions that are going to include a total of 5 projects and a total of 5 demonstrations from guest stampers who are going to share with us. I'm really excited. So I just wanted to give you a plug. If you needed another reason to join my team, the other reason is that you would have free access to the Traditions of Christmas Sweet Escape virtual retreat. My team members always get free access to my PDFs, including the calendar PDF, including the monthly project PDFs, including the bonus projects that I send out with the kits. What else? Just at anytime I have a class, team members get to participate in the event with the PDF and everything for free. So just another perk of joining, but this is the most amazing time to join. In my 23 years as a demonstrator, I have never, ever, ever seen the price this low. You can choose $125 in product of your choice for $35 plus tax. Shipping is free, and you also get a free paper pumpkin kit. In North America, you get I'm not sure what business supplies are coming because they're running out of the business supplies, but you get access to the back pocket card layouts. You get access to free events like the virtual retreat that's coming up this weekend. You get to participate in my random behind the scenes tours during our monthly Zoom crafting sessions. You get all the things. I have a lot of team members chatting right now. So what is your favorite thing about being on the Jubilant Stampers team? Let me know in the comments. And if you're thinking about joining as a demonstrator, I would love to have you join my team. Tomorrow on Halloween is the very last day to take advantage of this special. And you can go to juliedavison.com/join. Oh, that's a terrible color combination for video, isn't it? Blue letters on the pink, but juliedavison.com/join is where you can buy your starter kit. Penny, what time does it start? 11 a.m. So it's going to be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. And then there's going to be a break. And then there's going to be another 2-hour session from 2 until 4 Central Time. And hopefully all the timing in my head works out the same and the projects fit in that time. I don't know if we'll go over, but that's the time of the event. So there's 2 sessions, 11 to 1. If you are not able to watch live, you'll be able to watch the replay. If you're not on Facebook, then the videos will all be saved and will be made available on YouTube for you to watch as a private, like unlisted video, but you'll have access to see the videos afterwards if you can't watch live. So no worries there. Is that 9 Pacific time? And yes, Penny, it is 9 Pacific time. I didn't want to do it too early for you guys on the Pacific coast. And so that's why I chose to start it a little bit later instead of doing like 9 Central Time, because that would be 7 a.m. your time. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to get up and stamp at 7 a.m. That's too early. So yes, 11 a.m. the event on Saturday, 11 a.m. and that would be 9 a.m. Pacific time and noon Eastern time. So have an early lunch and join us. Okay. Will we be able to see the replay right away, Debbie? Yes. If you're on the Facebook group, you'll be able to watch the replay immediately. And then I have to save the video and I have to upload it. So the video off Facebook won't be available immediately, but in the Facebook group, you'll be able to watch it like at any time. Immediately it'll be there. The Facebook group is also going to have bonus inspiration. It will have photos of all of the stamping presentations as well. So definitely Facebook is where like the fun of the event is going to happen, and you'll want to be there for sure. PJs and coffee, definitely not the coffee for me, but definitely stamping in PJs. I changed into PJs before I came down to stamp with you guys, because yeah, you got to be comfortable when you're stamping. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I'm so happy that we have such an amazing team, and we have over 150 team members across the country, literally from corner to corner, from Washington to Florida. And we have had team members before in Alaska and Hawaii. I don't know that we have any active team members in either of those states before. We had some who were military and living abroad. There was someone for a while who was from Germany, who was living in Germany on base. And so she was a demonstrator for a while. And I feel like there was somebody in Guam that was probably also someone who was stationed there. But they're a U.S. territory, so I would think that would all be kosher. I speak your love language. Oh, okay. I have more card samples to share, but since we took our little break there, well, I'll do 2. How about this for a sneak peek? This card is an alternative project that is one of the projects for Saturday's event. So it is kind of a fun little designer paper fold. I forgot to do the inside of my sample though, because I was just photographing the front for the picture, like for the back pocket card layout. But this is a back pocket card layout with the measurements, and kind of fun the way that opens up. So this is another version of a card that we're going to make on Saturday at the retreat. And then here is a card. This is actually also an alternative back pocket card layout for the Painterly Pairs class that we did last time. You guys might remember that one. I have a tendency not to finish the cards when they are just a sample that I need for the front of them. I just love all these colors in this suite. They're so pretty. Let's move on to our second card. Now this one is going to use a lot of designer paper, and actually most of it's from the same sheet. So let's get out those sheets. We're going to use the green stripes, and we're also going to use The only other pattern in the designer paper pack that has green in it. I thought it was really interesting. Most of the paper is Early Espresso, Cajun Craze, Basic Beige. We've got some with the yellow, but like this is it for the green. And so I had to use them together because they coordinate so beautifully. So designer paper, we're gonna cut these pieces. Let's do the leaf first. And this is kind of fun because both those patterns are on the same sheet. And so we're going to cut this piece at 2 inches. So we're cutting right in half because this designer paper is 4 by 6. So we're going to cut it 2 inches. We're going to flip one over. The leaves are going to be 2 by 5. And then the Cajun Craze pattern is 2 by 4. And then you've got these extra pieces that, I don't know, like you could put them inside if you want or do something else with them. And then we also need to cut our green stripe piece. And so this is what I was struggling with when we made the other card because we needed the brown for this piece. And if we wanted the stripes to work this way, then we would have had to cut this piece from the top first. But if we cut it from the top so that the stripes are going this way, then we wouldn't have been able to have a long enough piece for the piece that we cut off the side. Do you see what I mean? So our stripes are just going to run the other direction for this card and it's going to be fine. I'm not worried about it. That's not a big deal. So we're going to cut this at, let's cut it 1.5 long ways. And then 4.5. Nope, that's not right. 3 3/4. 4.5 would be bigger than the card itself. 3 3/4. So 1.5 by 3 3/4, 2 inches by 4, 2 inches by 5. And then extra pieces for another card. All right, for this one, we have some other pieces in here, including we have a white cardstock to go inside our Early Espresso card base. We have a small little white piece that's for stamping our leaf. We have a pre-punched sign design label. I love this shape. It's kind of different with that sort of rounded top. And then we also have some Early Espresso cardstock that's 1 by 3 inches and more twine to add a bow. And of course the envelope that you can stamp on if you'd like. So we are going to bring in for this card the sign design stamp set. I couldn't find it for a second. I wanted something that was a little bolder for the sentiment because these leaves are very bold and busy and big. I wanted the sentiment to match that vibe and match that style. And I felt like the sentiments in the gathering moments were very, I don't want to say wispy, but just not as strong. It didn't meet the strength I felt of the designer paper with the really busy pattern. So I decided to bring in this stamp set. If you don't have the sign design stamp set, you can easily just substitute another sentiment. I would say try to search for one that has a bolder font. This sign design stamp set has 2 steps to the season of thanks. You have the season with the leaves and then of thanks. So we can do this in 2 different colors. So we're going to be using the Cajun Craze and Early Espresso. And I'm going to stamp. So hard to do this. It's so far in front of me. I feel like I just want to peek my head over there. Season. And then of thanks. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. On the little one, we are going to stamp the crushed curry leaf. So we're using the smaller of the 2 leaves from this set. And we also want the thankful for you for the inside. Crushed curry leaf to die cut. And for the inside, I also stamped the alternating leaves kind of doot 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 down the bottom. So let's do that. Grabbing my grid paper so that we don't stamp on the desk. I'm going to just add a couple of the crushed curry leaves and then a couple of, just see got the halo again. Don't stamp so hard, Julie. Kind of alternating, like this one's up, that one's down. Across the bottom. I got it right on my finger. And with early espresso, right in the center. Thankful for you. Okay, we're ready to die cut. Gonna grab out the little die. Such a mess. I lost my little, I know they're in a pile, my little tape pieces. Get our mini machine back up here. Hi, Jill. You're back in North Carolina. I'm so glad to hear that. You must be doing well. I was kind of on the fence about the sign design. I wasn't gonna get it, and then I don't know, changed my mind. I like that it's a different shape, and I love punches, so it was hard to say no. Jillian, hello, so glad to see you popping on here. I'm trying so hard, you guys. Sometimes I don't. It's hard to multitask and keep tabs on all of your comments. So if I ever don't respond, it's not because I don't want to say hi. I get distracted. Let's start with the inside here, and we're going to add our white cardstock to the early espresso card. The fine design. Debbie says, I didn't like the fine design until you did that video. Oh, sign design. I thought fine design. I don't think I have that bundle, but sign design. Yeah. I think all my samples might be in the other room. I should just bring the whole box. I think Margot was over filming her video, and so she took my box of cards into the other room to take pictures, and it's still on the kitchen table, so I just got to bring it back. We're layering the designer paper, and our first piece is going to go on the front. On the left side, I've evenly spaced around the edges. So you're just going to kind of eyeball that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but since this is 5 inches, it's approximately 1/4 of an inch from the top and the bottom, and 1/4 of an inch from the side. We're going to take the next piece, which again is 2 inches by 4 inches, and we're going to overlap it. This one I'm going to have a little bit more space over here, probably closer to like 1/2 inch or so, and so we're just overlapping over there. Maybe that's like 3/4 of an inch. Did you ever see there used to be these little short videos, and it was like asking a hairdresser how much 6 inches is, you know, because like 6 inches to a hairdresser is different, right? Each one is different. And so then they were saying like, show me 6 inches, like they would give them like ribbon, show me 6 inches, and then they would measure with the ruler like how big 6 inches was, and they would see how close they got. And I feel like as a card maker, especially if it's like 6 inches and under, like I can eyeball it. I think I'm pretty close. So I'm calling that 3/4 of an inch. Like let's let's check it. It is like, oh, just one hair short of 3/4. That would be 3/4 of an inch right there. So a little bit off. But that would be like a fun challenge, I think, to to just take ribbon and try to guess like 4 inches, 3 inches. Maybe we'll do that if you guys want to stick around at the end, and we'll see how well Julie knows her inches. We're going to take our last piece of designer paper. This one's going to go across the bottom. It's flush here with the side and about 1/2 inch or so from the bottom. And whenever I'm doing layers and, you know, layering designer paper like this, I kind of try to think about that rule of thirds. And so your focal point, usually you want it to be like, not necessarily right in the center. It's more pleasing to the eye when it falls, you know, in one of those like the grid, the rule of thirds. You know what I'm talking about. We've talked about that before. I'll just do it really quick. Here's a pen. So the rule of thirds, we talk like there's a grid, right? So we have like your image, and if your image is rectangle, it still works the same way. You break it into 3 evenly spaced columns, 3 evenly spaced rows, and then with the rule of thirds, it's more pleasing to the eye when your focal point falls into where those lines meet. So like in this top corner, or over here. And so like I try to keep that in mind, not only when I'm like taking pictures, but also when I'm designing a card, and try to balancing into like one of those thirds, you know. So like if I have 3 rows, like maybe my element is overlapping like between 2 and 3 instead of like right dab in the middle between just 2. You know, I'm babbling. Okay, we're gonna add our next piece. This is that 1 by 3 inch piece of cardstock. This is going to go right in the center of the designer paper. I know I just said don't put it in the center, but we're overlapping things, and so just that part is going to be in the center. When we add this over it, it kind of brings it out of the center. So all right, before we add that though, we have our leaf. We're going to add that with a regular snail adhesive. Seal. I did that the other day. I kept calling it snail. The old adhesive was snail. This one is called seal. You can see why it's confusing. Tying a bow here. It looks like I really gave you guys a good length of linen thread this time. So you have lots and lots of extra to cut off. I guess better too long than too short though. So this is going to kind of tuck under that side like this, and so I think I will use the tear and tape trick. Hi Lisa. So glad you guys are all joining me tonight. I'm sure it has, but I was just thinking, like, have we ever done Thursday night and it's been Halloween? Like, has that been a thing? Have we done it like that? Or did we reschedule? Because I can't imagine I would have had a video and trick-or-treaters ringing the doorbell at the same time. Tomorrow we've got kind of a quiet evening planned. I do anticipate that we'll have trick-or-treaters, and so we're gonna plan to pass out candy and maybe sit outside if it's not too cold. We'll have a little fire pit in the driveway and pass out candy to our trick-or-treaters. Are you planning to pass out candy this year, or go trick-or-treating, or go to a party? Tell me what you guys got planned for tomorrow. Here is our card. I added the Season of Thanks with Stampin' Dimensionals, and we'll add some embellishments next. My sample card used the Cajun Craze dots. Those kind of blend in though. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking maybe we should try something different. And so I'm going to bring out the neutral matte dots and do just do a couple dots up here. I am a fan sometimes of 2 dots near a sentiment or punched image because I sort of feel like the punch or the element is the 3rd item, but I know you guys don't always agree with me. So if you want to, you could also add another. See, I just always feel like I don't know where it should go. I'm going to leave it off. If you want to put a 3rd one on, then you can. And if you do, tell me where you put yours. Do you put it low? Do you put it in the middle? I don't know. I'm going to do 2. What I want you guys to tell me is this or that. Do you prefer the Cajun Craze embellishments that blend with the paper a little more, or do you like the white that stick out a little more? Another really good option is, I think they're retired now, but we have some like metallic dots that were my favorite. And ooh, this one is really pretty, the antique pearls. I kind of like that. The one I'm thinking of is oh, those would be really pretty too. Iridescent. Not those. These adhesive back texture dots. They're last chance or maybe sold out, but I always love these for fall because they have like a little metallic, but they're also sort of like earthy and neutral. So that's a good choice too. All right, that. Oh, you guys like the white ones. Okay. I wasn't sure. I was thinking that the white was like too. I'm gonna switch that, and if that changes your vote, I understand. But I feel like I think I want to try these darker ones and see. I think that I think this one might be my favorite with a more neutral element. It sticks out from the Cajun Craze, but not in a overpowering way. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. We live in a busy neighborhood. We don't have a sidewalk in front of our house, but there's definitely lots of families. So we'll have lots of trick-or-treaters. But yeah, I imagine if you live on a busier road like Tony or dark cul-de-sac, then you probably wouldn't get a lot of trick-or-treaters. So that makes it a little hard, doesn't it? Copper clay dots. That sounds perfect, Sherry, because it's not quite as dark as the Cajun Craze, so a little bit lighter. I think that would stand out nicely. Well, I know you guys have a bunch of different embellishments at home, so when you're making your cards at home, you mix it up and you can use whatever you want to finish off your cards. And I know sometimes, like, let me know if this is you. I know some of you just leave the embellishments off altogether because it makes it a little trickier to mail. And so I think this card, especially with a little linen thread, kind of works without embellishments too. So if you want to leave them off, if it makes it too bumpy, then that works. Oh, speaking of bumpy, or not so bumpy, the low profile dots have gold, and they would be lower than this. They'd be so good for this card, like a little bit of gold to tie in some of the gold from the designer paper. Yeah, I like that. All right, this was card number 2. Let's take a look at a couple more samples here. We're gonna do these 2 next. This actually is kind of similar, isn't it? This was a layout that we did for Sunday stamping. We did a stamp along, and so it has a skinnier strip on the side, a larger strip in the middle, but it kind of has the same idea with like an anchoring strip and then a circle and the many thanks sentiment. Ooh, I stamped the inside. And then here's a swap card from Mary McNeely. And she's using the Gathering Leaves embossing folder for the background on the basic beige and doing the stamped images. I like this stamping on the colored cardstock. So we've got a crushed curry on crushed curry cardstock and then die cutting it. It just gives it a more fuller, richer look. Yeah, Jennifer leaves off the embellishments. I think sometimes that they just make it too bulky and it can just run into trouble when you're trying to send things in the mail. We've got one card left. Our last one is our fun fold. And I always try to do a fun fold in all of the monthly kits. And sometimes they're a little more involved and sometimes they're a little bit more simple. Our fun fold this time has a flap on top and then the card base opens down, which is a little different than normal. So normally your fold would be at the top of the card, but this time it'll be at the bottom. And then the fold will go over the top and all the way to the back of the card. It is a little heavier because we got lots of layers happening here, but it's so pretty to have all the layers that coordinate. For this card, we are going to use this entire piece. And then we also need, oh, see? We also need the long strip of brown designer paper. So it's a good thing we cut our designer paper this way because we do need that piece for there. And then on the inside, I also have the plaid designer paper for the inside there. So we're going to use a lot of designer paper on this one. That does leave a little bit of designer paper for making extra cards at home. And if you don't like the plaid, you could potentially substitute this one to go on the inside too. That's actually a really lovely option. So either one of these, you can do the plaid or you can use that. The other side looks like this. Oh, that would be so pretty too. Oh gosh. Why didn't I use that side? I really like that. Okay, I think for my card, I am going to use the this plaid and I'll save these pieces for another card. So actually we could have used the brown. You could use the brown on the front with the circles. So if you're using this plaid instead and you cut this one differently, you'll have a brown pattern there that you can use. Now I want to make more cards. All right, let's cut our designer paper first, and then we'll talk about our layers and do our stamping. So for our flap, for our flat fold card, we're going to take this designer paper with the leaves and we are going to cut it, let's see. We want two pieces that are 3 by 3.5 inches. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut at 3.5. So we got the short end at the top, cutting at 3.5 so that we have a little 1/2 inch strip. And then we're going to take the remaining piece and cut it at 3 inches. And now we've got two pieces for our flap. So first you're cutting at 3.5 and then 3 inches. Our next piece is 4 inches. We need to cut off a little bit so that it can go on the inside of the card. So we're going to cut this at 5.25 inch. That leaves a 3/4 inch piece that you can save for another card. And finally, we have our leftover piece here. We've been cutting off this one for the other cards. We need this piece to be 1.5 by 5 inches. And I think we're already at 1.5. Actually, we're going to cut just a little sliver off. So this is 1.5 by 5. So those are all the pieces that we need for the card. And we are actually, hold on, whoop. We are going to use this little skinny strip and we want to cut it down to 5.25. So this is for the inside. It's 1/2 inch by 5.25. All right. The other pieces for our card. This one's got a lot of pieces on this one. The other pieces are 5.5 by 8.5 of basic beige. The second card base is, it's the card flap. It's 3 1/4 by 8 inches, scored at 3 3/4. So it's a little bit short, and this is going to be for the front. We have a white cardstock for the inside, 4 by 5 1/4. This white piece is for stamping and die cutting. It's 2 3/4 by 4, but whatever scrap you have will work. And there are 2 white circles that are 2 3/8 inch. The embossed Cajun Craze cardstock is 2 inches by 3 1/2, with the embossing done so that it is like a vertical, like taller than wider piece. And for the inside, a little strip of early espresso cardstock that is 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. And let's actually cut this down. I think when I designed my card, I don't know, I guess I had extra designer paper on the table, but I meant for these to be 2 different sizes. And in my card sample, you can see it is wider, the designer paper. I don't know how I got it to be wider, because you saw when we cut it, this is what you get left over. And so because this one is skinnier, I want to make this one skinnier as well. It's all going to turn out great, and it's going to look fantastic. And you don't have to cut this down if you don't want to. You could leave it as is, but I am just going to trim it. Oh, what is, okay, there we go. Tried to jump the track. I'm going to cut it down to 3/8 of an inch. So I'm cutting just like a little bit. I don't know. I wanted to do a 1/4 inch, but I felt like that might be too skinny. 1/4 inch. If you don't want to cut yours, that's fine. I just wanted the proportions to be so that the designer paper was wider. Now, in lieu of cutting it, you could just overlap the designer paper over the top of the brown, and you can make it as small as you want it to go. While we have our paper trimmer out, we are going to cut our card base. And I normally don't do this, but because we have this flap that's coming over, it needs to be able to stretch and reach over the entire card. And I want to make sure that the total card from top to bottom isn't more than 4 1/4. And you see how there is like just a little bit of room here between the brown and the beige. If we had the beige cardstock be 4 1/4 and then this stood out on top of that, then it wouldn't fit into our envelope quite right. And so we are going to take a little bit off the beige cardstock, like just like a 1/16 of an inch or so. So I'm going to fold the cardstock in half and cut both at the same time. If you don't want to cut through 2 layers of cardstock, you could cut one side and then the other. We are going to take this just inside the 4 1/4. So normally it's 4 1/4. We're going to go 1 tick inside 4 1/4. So we are shaving like 1/16 of an inch off the card. Just a little tiny, tiny bit. This is in the instructions. So if you're following the PDF later, that's a good question. Do you read the instructions? Do you read the instructions, or do you just go for it? I'm one of those people who don't read the instructions and I just go for it. And then afterwards I'm like, yep, I should have read it. Then I would have known. Okay, so we're cutting a little bit off the edge there. And then when this comes on, we're gonna line up the bottom, and then there's enough room for the fold to clear the card and not be like, you know, bulked over. So let's work on our little flap. We have the 3 by 3 3/4 inch pieces. 3 by 3 1/2. Sorry. And these are going to go on either side. So this black early espresso cardstock has a long piece and a shorter end, a long end and a short end. And so the designer paper fits in the short end. So it's going on either side of the short end. If you put it on the long side, you'll have all this extra room. No, 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 no. You want it on the short end where it should just fit in there so perfectly, like that. While we've got this, let's go ahead and use some strong adhesive like tear and tape to attach it to the card base. I don't know. I feel like I want to add, okay, before we put it on, I'm going to put the tear and tape on there, but before we stick it on the card, I want to add the elements on the front. So that's going to be the Early Espresso designer paper. Sharon says, it's so fun to go rogue. In our mystery stamping, Sharon's always going rogue. Maria doesn't read the instructions, just wings it. Sometimes when I'm writing the instructions, like I feel like putting a little Easter egg in there to see who's paying attention, to see who's actually reading it. You know, like if you're reading this, then like send me a secret word and I'll give you a special gift or something. I don't know. Now you guys are all going to read just to make sure you're not missing anything. Our cardstock, the Cajun Craze piece, is going to go overlapping. So this piece, actually, I think I want to bring it down. Oops, sorry guys. I did an even spacing there like I normally do, but I think I want to bring it down just a little bit closer to the bottom edge than the sides, just because the spacing will work out better. And I just want to remind you that the fold on this card is the bottom. The bottom of the card is where we're putting the fold, right near the fold is where we're putting that designer paper. And then we're going to take this piece and we're going to layer it all the way to the fold, all the way to the end, about a ½ inch or so from the right side. So all the way over. There. Okay. And now we're ready to put our flap on. And so I wanted to put the other pieces so I could kind of see where to put it. If you don't have these pieces on, then you're kind of going blind. So you're going to kind of half cover the Cajun Craze piece with this. I want some space on either side here where the brown is showing, but I think that's just about where I want it to go. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. I'm going to take the adhesive off and line it up, and it should go all the way to the end. Good bone folder. Make sure you're nice and good creased here. Okay. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There's like a gap here. I'm just going to add. I should have added more adhesive with the tear and tape. Okay. Now, for the inside, we are going to stamp Thankful for You. We're going to put our strips down here. We're going to add this in the center. And then we have 2 circles to do the greetings. And we're going to stamp and die cut the leaves and the acorn. So let's do our stamping on the inside, and then let's do our stamping for the other elements. So first, Thankful for You. And we'll add our little strips. I intended to design the cards that are going to be for the October kit and share a little sneak peek for you. And then somehow the week evaporated and I didn't do that. So I can't show you what the October projects are going to be. that you can earn the kit for free if you order in October. But I can tell you that it's going to use the Modern Christmas Suite. And so if you are interested in getting what you need to make your cards look exactly like mine, then make sure you order that stamp set and bundle that goes with the Modern Christmas Suite. And that project kit will go out to everyone who orders $40 or more in my online store this month in October. Also, if you're a team member, you can subscribe to get those kits for just $5 a month. It's kind of a steal, but I love to be able to do that for my team. So if you want to get that kit and stamp along with us next time, those are the two ways that you can get it, and guarantee that you're going to get it before the class. And then we'll stamp along together on the last Thursday. Wait a second. Is the last Thursday Thanksgiving? It is Thanksgiving. You know what? I'm actually not doing anything on Thanksgiving. We're having our big dinner on Friday. So let's take a quick poll. Let's take a quick poll in the chat. Should I do the class a week early, or should we still do it on Thanksgiving on the last Thursday of the month? And then if you can't watch live because you're stamping with, or you're celebrating with family or friends, then you can watch the replay. So should we do the class on Thanksgiving? If we don't do the class on Thanksgiving, there will be another Thursday night video on Thanksgiving. So either way, we'll do a video. But if we want the stamp along class for the October kit to be Thanksgiving or the week before, leave a comment, let me know. Penny's saying Thanksgiving. I'm kind of feeling that way. Like, I think it would be really good for people who aren't doing anything big. Lori says either way. Sherry says Thanksgiving, because maybe you'll be all done if you eat early on Thanksgiving. Maybe you'll be ready to stamp. It doesn't matter for me. The reason I wait until the last Thursday though is just it allows more time for everyone to get their kits in the mail. And so I'm worried that if we push it up a week, that people might not have their kits and it might be early. So you guys are saying Thanksgiving. I think we'll just stick with it. Wouldn't it be a great gift? During COVID, I remember maybe it was during COVID or the year after, Thanksgiving, or there was another holiday that fell on Thursday. I guess Thanksgiving always falls on Thursday. But there were so many people who didn't have family or friends to spend time with on Thanksgiving. And so, I don't know, it was really great to be able to share with people and spend that time together. So we are stamping on Thanksgiving one way or another, no matter what we're doing. We will be live with some stamp therapy. So if you just need a break from your family, you can just shut yourself up into your crafting space and be like, I gotta go, guys. It's time for me to stamp with Julie. I'm doing the 3 elements here, 2 different leaves, the acorn, and then on the circles, we're going to do the sentiments. And so we've got 2. One for the inside is going to be expressing heartfelt gratitude. It is tight, but it does fit on there. And then the other one we're going to do, I have to get this out on a block, is the word gather. So this card will say gather on the front, expressing heartfelt gratitude, and then on the very inside, thankful for you. I love this. So speaking of Thanksgiving, this card is perfect for Thanksgiving. Let's get our dies out. These are all going to fit on the same, we'll be able to do it on the same run through the machine, and it fits in the mini machine. Oh, I just found our other tape to reuse. Okay. One last time with the die cutting machine. Nan says, I said easy right as she grabbed 2 alphabet cookies, an E and a Z. What are the chances? I love when that happens. Like when I'm, watching TV or listening to something and like, I say a word or, I'm stamping a word and I hear that word. That's so funny. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That is my style. At least I try to be. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. For the inside, where we're going to put expressing gratitude, this is going to just go down with some regular Stampin' Seal adhesive right in the center. I think I really like this plaid better. Here was the inside of the other one. And I don't know, I really like that brighter. Do you guys have do you have any thoughts? Do you like this plaid does have like the gold, which I think is really pretty. But I just love the richness of this plaid. I think it's so pretty. So this or that, do you like the lighter plaid or the darker plaid for the inside of the card? For the front of the card, we are going to have our sentiment. We're going to put it on Stampin' Dimensionals. And because this card is so thick already with so many layers, I am going to do all the rest of the pieces just with regular adhesive. So we're going to have the leaves kind of be in opposite corners. And then we're going to do gather in the middle. So you can adjust that if you want it to hang down a little bit. And then the acorn with regular dimensionals kind of going in the corner. Not dimensionals, regular adhesive is what I was trying to say. And the last thing we need to add is just some bling. And I'm going to use the Cajun Craze. The Cajun Craze, I think, really will pop here on this designer paper. I don't know. I always have problems with, I'm just going to do 2 again. I've got the medium and the small one up there in the corner. Gather. So these are the 3 cards for this is actually the September kit. So if you ordered in September, you got this kit, the Gathering Together. And if you would like to be able to participate and stamp along with us next time using the Modern Christmas Suite, then make sure you order by October 31st, tomorrow, $40 or more from my online store, and you'll get the next card kit for free. Or join as a demonstrator and subscribe to get the kits for just $5 a month. If you would like this kit that I made tonight, there are a few extras, so go to juliedavison.com/kits, and that's where you're going to find this kit, and it has all the pre-cut pieces and the designer paper ready to go so that you can add your own stamp images at home and customize them to make them your own. I have a couple more samples actually. Let me share those with you. This one comes from Bonnie O'Neill. And I love her layering here. She used the birch wood embossing folder in basic beige. Isn't that such a pretty color? Do you guys have the basic beige color? Is that one that you use? There's actually an ink pad and cardstock. I always forget about the ink pad and I almost never use it, but I'm using the cardstock more and more, especially for fall. I just think it's such a great neutral color that goes with so many things. So this one from Bonnie O'Neill, and then this one is from, this one's from Mom, Susan LaCroix, and she created this one. I think this was her Sunday Stamp Along video, and she did this layout and combined the elements. And I was just talking about the basic beige. On this card, she stamped the images Cajun Craze and Crushed Curry on basic beige cardstock. And so like, I just like how it is not so harsh with the white. So for example, on this card, can you see with the plastic? Let's take it out and take a look. So this card has the images on white cardstock, and this one, they're on the basic beige cardstock. And so like, it's just a little softer, I think, to have them on the basic beige. Now, this ink pad looks like it was really juicy, and so you're losing some of the detail. So the detail that's lost is not necessarily because of the basic beige cardstock. I think it's just because of the over juicy ink pad. There was a question from Nan. She says, can someone explain why some YouTube streams use our names and others use the at names, like the ampersand, not ampersand, the at. What else is that thing called? I actually don't know. Nan, maybe it has to do with whether or not you are logged into YouTube. I don't know if that makes a difference. Like, I'm logged into YouTube and I see the names on my end. Maybe if you're not logged in, then you just see the username instead. Just a guess. I don't know. I'm not that tech savvy. The last card is this one. And this is the card I shared when I did the sign design stamp class, and we did 4 cards with that one, and I just wanted to bring it in because it uses some of this designer paper. And I did this one on the Christmas cards, the Memories and More, and there is the crumb cake, and then there's also a green plaid, and we were talking in that video about how these plaid cards can be used for so much more than just Christmas, obviously. So you can use the green for like St. Patrick's Day, or just like any, I could see that on a masculine birthday card, and the crumb cake too, I think would work on any masculine card, but it also goes really well with fall. So I think that goes nicely with this designer paper. Okay, so, oh, that's a good point too. Kathy's saying it could depend on the device you're using as well. There's so many things. I don't understand a lot when it comes to technology. There's a lot of things that I get confused about. I hope you enjoyed tonight's projects using the Gathering Together suite. If you have a favorite, if there's one that you feel especially inspired by, please leave a comment and let me know. And if you enjoyed tonight's video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future videos. Just one last reminder that tomorrow is also the last day for you to sign up as a demonstrator for just $35. You get to choose $125 in product. That can be whatever you want. In fact, as a new demonstrator, you can choose new pre-order items in your starter kit. So we have some new items that are going to be available for everyone in November, and you can order them in your starter kit right now. That's kind of cool. you can be among the first to order those new things when you get your starter kit. So last chance is tomorrow for that. On Saturday, so excited to gather with you virtually. Team members, including new ones who joined tomorrow, will be able to participate in this event for free. I'm so excited to bring you some other free events here on the group, like our Modern Christmas Card class, which will happen on Thanksgiving Day next week. Mom and I are sharing Sunday stamping videos. This week, we're going to give you a sneak peek of some of those new products, a new suite from the online exclusives that start in November. So be sure to tune in on Sunday for that at noon Central Time and 12:30 Central Time on Mom's channel. This is the other thing I wanted to talk about. If you ordered the Advent Calendar, 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar, I have a free Facebook group that you can participate in with unboxing videos that are going to be scheduled starting November 1st, that Saturday. I am simply sharing unboxing videos from Stampin' Up! And giving everybody an opportunity to share project ideas using the things that come in the Advent Calendar. So if you would like to join the Facebook group, it is open to everybody. You can use this QR code to access the Facebook group for the unboxing of the 12 Days of Advent crafting calendar. If you haven't purchased it yet, you can still get it in the online store. It hasn't sold out. It's kind of fun, and it comes with an exclusive stamp set that is not available anywhere else. So this is super fun, and it is open to everybody, whether you're on my team, not on my team, whether you bought it from me or not. If you bought it from yourself, it doesn't matter. You're welcome to participate in the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar group. So check that out. I'm excited to share with you guys all and open up and see what's inside the 12 Days of Crafting calendar. It's going to be so much fun. So that starts on Saturday, and I'm working on my 12 Days of Christmas gift box that we do every year. And so I will have details. I guess I need to get them shared. It's almost November. I'm not sure if I'll have them on Saturday. Definitely by next Thursday, when we do Thursday night stamp therapy, I will have details for the 12 Days of Christmas gift box that I do. That comes with the 12 days of daily videos. So stay tuned for information about that. I'll share it as soon as I have it available. I'm starting to put together what's going to come inside of it, and I'm super excited. All right, that's it for me tonight. Thanks for spending some time with me. I hope that you enjoyed this creative therapy session, and I look forward to stamping with you again very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.